I'm here with Mike Lyon from Do You Convert? And Mike, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to talking with you.
Well, we're looking forward to talking to you because you've got an upcoming article in ProBuilder about your home builder response survey that you do
Yes,
pretty much every year. And I wanted to kind of get you on the call to talk about what you found there and maybe dive into some of the details there.
absolutely. Yeah, it was interesting results this year, especially since we had a pandemic. So that'll throw things off if we're not paying attention.
So let's get into the survey, and maybe before we get into the results that you found, tell me about the methodology. And I know that, like you said, with the pandemic, it was a little different this year. So tell me kind of what you did.
Well, what we did was the same. So our methodology is we go online, we shop a builder directly from their website. We go to a community information page. We fill out the form on their website. We do everything that a customer would do. Plus, we give them a phone number and we asked a very specific question about the availability and told them, this is my cell phone, feel free to text me. So we're lobbing up softballs to home builders to see how do they manage these leads? What happens when they receive a lead? And so we did this all during business hours between the time of 10 and 3, when they should be staffed up and ready to take those leads. So that's how we conduct the survey, and we pick 100 builders out of the top 200 list. So essentially, we're picking builders that have the capability and the financial means to solve the problem of lead management and customer service, taking care of the customers. So that's how we go out and conduct the survey. What we changed a little bit this year is we started it before the pandemic hit, and then right at the end, we were going to go a little bit deeper in qualitative measuring. And we said, well, this is going to be skewed because how we started isn't going to be the same. So we just did another mini shop during COVID. So that's when you see two different results of how did builders do before COVID hit when the market was hot, and how do they do during COVID when everybody was freaking out thinking the world was ending.
Okay, that's great. Thanks. So let's dive into some results.
Yeah.
One of the ones I think is kind of interesting is looking at this historical results. Like you said, you've been doing this survey for a long time,
Right.
and we're looking at that chart right now. So tell me what you see in this chart and what people should be paying attention to here.
Right. And when we go back all the way to 2012, when we first started tracking these results, you'll see that no email response, no call response. And then when we started tracking no texting responses, those were better in the years of 2012. And even when we did smaller ones that aren't on here from 2011, they were better because the market was tougher. Now, as the market has improved, even though our technology has improved and more people are employing and putting the role of the online sales specialist in place, our results didn't improve. The no texting, no calling, no email response got worse. And we really feel like, just with what we see out there, we feel like that's because as the market improves and we get busy, we don't have to treat every lead the same. We don't have to be as fast on the responses or be as diligent in our follow-up because the sales are coming. And sometimes builders can't keep up. So as the market improves, we usually see these results go down.
So let's get into this particular survey, the 2020 survey.
Sure.
Looking at the pre-COVID or before COVID, and then the after COVID comparison, which I think is really compelling. And
Yeah.
I think, what was your expectation when you put out the after COVID survey, and then what did you find?
Let's talk about the improvements. Let's start on the positive note.
Sure.
Which I call it a rounding error, but it is positive. So we did see speed improve, primarily in email responses. So that was good. We saw that speed improve for the most part. Before, the average text response was 2.9 days when they were responding via text, and afterwards is 1.9 days. And so I kind of laugh and saying this, like, I mean, it's an improvement, but it depends on what we call an improvement. The rest of the results that we saw just were not that dramatic. I mean, the biggest one was in video email, which I don't know if you remember, we did a whole bunch of trainings. Everybody was talking about the shift to virtual sales, and it was all about your face, right, and video, and using video email and using Zoom and all this stuff, right? And so we went from a 6% video email response. So basically 94% of builders weren't using video. We doubled it to 12% using it, but that's not while it seems like a big jump, it's like, it's still pretty sad that that's all we were doing. Cause that's all we were talking about is video,
Right.
video, video, video.
Right.
So yeah, there was a small improvement, but you know, our big takeaway from there was pandemics don't change much. You know, we didn't see a dramatic increase when there really should have been one.
Your expectation for getting back to someone across the board is really quickly. I mean, obviously within
5 minutes or less.
5 minutes or less, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, sometimes it takes days, which just doesn't make a whole lot of, just as a complete disconnect. I'm sure for you, it's just like, how do you let something linger for that long?
Well, and I think that's something I want to point out to everybody watching this right now, that the home building market is going gangbusters, primarily because people are really evaluating their living situation and they want to make a change, and interest rates are low. And if they have a solid job, they're moving. Okay. So we're seeing this huge surge with builders. Now speed is even more important because they're not going to sit around and wait for a builder to get back to them. So if you're not fast, if you don't respond quickly, you're going to miss out. They're not going to sit around and wait for you to get back to them.
Right.
So speed to lead is huge, but then also just being persistent and giving them the information that they need and being able to connect them with the product that they want to see, whether they're in town or not, makes all the difference in the world in managing your leads.
Talk to me about frequency and its importance in this.
What we have found is that the best case scenario, you want to at least have a minimum of 5 touch points over that first month. 5 touch points in the combination of phone, email, and text and video email, right? So if you talk about of each platform that you're using, that's only one of each.
Right.
Right. And then maybe another email, like that's the bare minimum. What we train everybody on in processes that we set up, it's an average of 7 to 9 touch points in the first month if they have a phone number. So it's going to be 9. Builders are, you know, only 36% of builders had 3+ activities. Okay. So even if they were responding fast, they weren't responding enough. Only 8% of builders had 2+ emails, 1+ call, and 1+ text. So leveraging the variety of communication, how easy is it to get in the top 10%? You just got to use everything at least once.
Right.
So frequency is extremely, extremely important because people are busy and they're going to shop and they're going to fill out a form here, or they're going to go online to this third-party site, or they're going to be looking at used homes too.
Right.
You've got to be reminding them of what they asked about, or they'll forget about you. And Rich, let me just point something out to you here too, because a lot of people go, oh, great, we've got some automation set up. This is easy. And they fill out a form and there's some drip marketing going out.
Right.
That is not what I'm talking about. We are talking about follow-up. While they may be leveraging a CRM and some automation, especially in the first week, personalization is key. So the video email that goes out where I'm talking to Rich, Mike is talking to Rich, the phone call that goes out, that's personalized. The first email goes out, that's personalized. And these templates appear like a personal message. A lot of builders are just leveraging marketing automation. They're going, oh, we're good. Look, I just hit them 9 times with emails. Like, nobody's paying attention to that.
Right.
That stuff is oatmeal. It doesn't look good, or it looks like a marketing message. They're not paying attention to it. They pay attention to people and personalization. That's what'll help you on the frequency side and that variety of communication.
So when you sit back and you look at these results, and again, there are some positive results, you know, and the numbers did tick up a little bit during COVID or you know, after COVID. But what's the disconnect here? Is it people? Is it priorities? I mean, where are builders kind of falling down here?
I doubt that there's anybody out there who's seen the phone ring or seen a lead pop up and go, nah, I don't, you know, maybe later. It's just they've got an inbox that's full of unread messages. They got a phone that's ringing off the hook, or they're not getting the alert that they have a new lead. That's the only thing I can think of is overwhelmed system or disconnected system.
Great. That's great, Mike. And I appreciate that last point's really important. And again, thanks for making the time to be with us today.
Loved it. Loved it. Rich, thank you for all you guys do. I love this new platform. It's awesome. And appreciate all you guys do over there.